Good evening, everyone. This is Gil at Camppatton Family Compound. With me tonight, we have Tammy at Rebel Canners and Mark at ChefTech, and it is the Monday Night Fireside Chat. And tonight's topic is making and preserving gravy. I looked. That was a nice big pot of gravy that was up on there. Let's see who's all here. I'm sorry. I'm watching the number up here in the corner of my screen up here. It was up to 16 people watching, and when I remembered to put the help others to get informed, put that out there, it dropped down to 4. So, it was a bunch of the trolls trying to get in, and of course to make comments they got to subscribe, and if they get subscribed they can be traced. So, well, all right, but we're back up to 9, and we're gonna see who's all here. So first one in was Mark. He was first one in, followed by Super Scout, and then
it was just going back. It was me going back and forth with you for about 10 minutes going, hello.
Yeah. And it was you and Super Scout, making comments back and forth about biscuits and gravy and pouring it on thick. And okay, so on Tammy's side is something hopeful. Avelli hopeful. And then Uncle Richard and Kaylin Strain in on my side, and Diana's in over on your side. So yeah, we got.
Iveli Hopo just commented on my using physics to get grease or oil out of your my short out of your when you stir the pot up and all the grease goes to the middle, just scoop it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I did. Yeah. I already hit the thanks button to her.
Yeah. All right, so we're finally getting to this. Last week I was just really bleh. Tammy was not feeling well either.
You wouldn't have want to heard me. I couldn't have even put it on no photo, and yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, I didn't even know you two bailed on it. I'm in the streamer going, hello, where is everybody? It's like 5 of.
I was too sick. I barely was okay enough to get a hold of Gil and tell him that I was not upright.
That's right.
And
then I went to Gil's channel. I'm like,
so sorry.
He's like, next week. I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. And then I messaged you, and I'm like, oh, sorry, feel better.
Yeah.
Today is not quite as bad. I had another. I went to bed at 10:30 last night. As soon as my head hit the pillow, because I'm feeling drowsy, okay, I'm going to go to bed a little early, laid back down, eyes wide open. Brain suddenly all of a sudden I hear the gear shifting up there, and it drops into high speed, and it's hitting about 9,000 RPM, and it's redlining going, okay, what about this? What about Einstein's theory of blah, blah, blah. My mind's going, I'm going, shut the heck up. And around about 4:15, things started to slow down. 4:30, I actually got back to sleep. So, yeah. And then, of course, I had at 7:40, Oliver came across the street, hitting the doorbell to get in. He comes in, flips off his cowboy boots, running over, gives me a big hug, goes running around, and starts playing with the Legos. Yeah. I don't. Wait, did I get any? No, I didn't. I didn't add any photos to this one because I got stuff to show. So out of our freezer, I pulled out one of the oldest ones we have, beef gravy. Then I got another one here. It's starting to frost up, but it's gravy too, and they're frozen. Got another one of gravy here. And here, let's see if I can try to expose it there, get the frost to melt off of it.
So a tip for freezing gravies: float a piece of Saran wrap or something right against it on top, so it doesn't frost off on you and get freezer burned as quick.
Yeah. And there was some stuff we used to get a lot of from Sam's Club because my boys liked it and my daughter liked it till she got married and had kids and stuff. And I was eating it a lot. And it was a chicken fried steak with gravy packets, peppered country gravy mix. And so we got a bunch of these that I just threw in the freezer. As soon as I get the package out, I take it out, throw it in the freezer because I would just heat up the chicken fried steak and drizzle Worcestershire sauce or something on it, rather than taking the time to make it. So I was just making one at a time. So this is when you're making the whole batch.
That's when you can gravy in half pint jars.
Yeah.
I just did a video on how to make those packets yourself for pennies.
Yeah.
Oh, well, gravy mix?
These were included in the other ones. So it had microwave times and it also had oven times for reheating the chicken fried steak. And generally it was like, okay, I'm lazy. I'm going to toss it in the microwave for 90 seconds, turn it over, toss it in for another 90 seconds, pull it out, and have lunch. Yeah. But, my wife has a lot more gravy that she's done up there. She's done the ice cubes. And then she puts a bunch of ice cubes in a bag and she'll, suck all the air out of the bag, the Ziploc bag, get all the air out of it and toss it back in. There's that's one of the things. Once she actually moves up here from California, then we're going to sit down and have a serious talk of getting a freeze dryer and getting a vacuum chamber sealer. So, and get rid of.
You might need to get the freeze dryer before she retires.
Yeah.
Those things are not expensive. They're not cheap.
And that way we're not having to use the Pyrex stuff to freeze the gravy. We can just or we can refrigerate it, and then when we go to freeze some up, we can just go ahead and put it into whatever, however we're going to do it. We're going to do the cubes or whatever, and then we'll just do why it's a little thicker. Just go ahead and put it in the bag and put it in the vacuum chamber, and then suck all the air out and do the stuff and run that by. Have fun with that. So there's absolutely no leakage of air or gravy out of the bag. But yeah, that's one of the things we're going to be doing it. But one of the things I was wondering, because generally what my wife makes 99.9% of the time is beef gravy, brown gravy. Mm-hmm. I think she's only frozen white gravy once, because usually she doesn't make extra like she does with the other gravy, and because
milk gravies don't freeze well; they'll separate. No. They can break.
She'll take this to one of these to work when she was working in the office. And she'll use half of it one day and half of it the next day, and then bring the container home. So it's one of those things. It's the experimentation will begin when she's up here. We have the other stuff to do, to practice doing stuff in. But so, what other ways are there to preserve gravies?
Well, I wanted to ask.
Besides not even mixing it, but if you have a big thing going on for Thanksgiving, and you have this big thing of gravy, and you got, oh crap, I made 20 times what I need to make.
Yeah, Tammy, I was going to ask that. So if I thicken my my beef juice, turkey juice, whatever, with a roux, with flour, butter, cooked a little bit, put it in there, What happened? I've never done it. What happens when I can it?
I don't can gravy. I freeze it because I have so much beef broth made and
Right.
chicken broth and pork broth and ham broth. I just, in the time it takes me to heat up the meat I'm serving or cook the potatoes, I whip up a gravy from my broth. So I've never canned gravy. I'll be honest. I know you can, and I was thinking about it this week because we were going to do this video. I've seen I want to do like the sausage, the milk gravy, the sausage gravy. I can buy it canned here everywhere. I can buy it in a number 10 can. So I was
Yeah, but
thinking
they don't
about
use
it
just
today.
milk and flour. They use some kind of other stabilizers and fake milks and things and
Yeah.
dairy something
So
or
I'm
other. Yeah.
considering how to do that. We can sausage patties in pork broth, and we use that to make gravy, and it's great. You can make sausage gravy in just a couple minutes, and it's really good tasting. We use the Jimmy Dean's.
Yeah, but
So
what
I mean,
about canning? I mean, if
gravy.
canning a regular gravy, will it break? Has anybody on Rebel Canners done it? Because I haven't been on there in so long.
Not that I've seen.
All right, I guess I'll have to next time I fire the canner up, I'll
I just
make
did
some mock
Alfredo
beef
sauce, so
broth and thicken it up and throw it in a canner and see what happens.
you'd have to use clear gel instead of flour or
Why?
cornstarch because
That's what I was asking. If I thicken it with a flour, it's just a sauce. It's still a liquid.
it's gonna make it gummy. You see what pie filling does when you can it with flour. So I would think that what they're doing commercially is using clear gel.
Oh yeah, they're using modified food starches, not no flour. That's all I was wondering. If I canned it with flour and made a roux, how would it get super stupid thick? Maybe I don't. You know what? I'll give it a shot. I'll make like 3 pint jars of beef broth. I'll thicken one a little bit, one a little more, and then the last one to the point where I would normally eat it, and I'll throw them in a pressure canner and I'll see what it does. If none of them work, well, great. We just proved to the world don't can with flour.
I'm just trying to remember. I thought I saw a discussion on Rebel Canners a couple months back, and there was a lot more people saying, yeah, you can pressure can it, but it works better if you water bath can it.
Well, yeah, because it's not going to break.
If you got 3 hours to kill, but yeah.
Yeah, but I guess it's not as high temperature, so it doesn't cause things to,
Yeah.
Yeah, but then here's the problem: you're not getting it to the meat temperature when you're cooking it to can it.
Right. Well, it depends whether you're doing sausage. Sausage. Yeah. I guess it depends what type you're doing.
Then I'd want to know. I mean, you're going to have to do it for 3 hours if you use a lot of meat to get the appropriate time. I don't know. I was thinking about it because it's a soup. Yes, gravy is a soup. So therefore, you can use the soup time as long as it's 50% liquid. Now you're thickening it. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to experiment. Not something I've wanted to experiment.
Yeah. I'll do it.
Be the guinea pig.
Yeah, that's one of the things they talked about is, if you're doing just, like for one of the things they mentioned was a sausage gravy. You don't put a lot of sausage in it. You're using, using the pepper and all the seasonings and just a little bit sprinkled through the gravy. You're not making it chunks of sausage in there. You're just using a little bit. It's like, it's like if you could buy the number 10 can of the powdered stuff and you just scoop it out there because you can see all the little freeze-dried pieces of sausage in there, but they're small. So there's not that lot. So I would say 10% meat is all you're going to have. Most of the time you're going to have in there. I've never seen my grandmother or my mom or my mother-in-law or my aunt put a lot of meat even in a sausage gravy. Generally, what they do is
what you thicken it with, then not the fact of canning it, but it's what you thicken it with. So clear gel, which I'll do that too. I'll do one with a little bit of roux, a little more, and one where I like it, where it's boiling and hot. I'll hot pack it, and I'll thicken another one up with clear gel. and just see how they all come out. And I'll do a video and post it to Tammy's page.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, because I mean, even at scout camp, we did it. My first year on staff as quartermaster for Wood Badge up at scout camp, I was the assistant quartermaster, and they had everything, all the recipes, everything set up. And when they for the sausage gravy, they had the from U.S. Foods, the number 10 can, and they measured it out and mixed it up, and there was small pieces and stuff. But when they served it, it was everybody got 2 biscuits cut in half, open face, four sausage patties put on there, and then the gravy put all over the top of it. Mm-hmm. So the meat was separate from it, but it was flavored. So Uncle Ricky says, "I'll be camera crew."
Yes, he will.
And
we might have to do a canning video at the cabin. That would be messed up.
Yeah.
That means I have to bring a whole bunch of stuff with me again.
Yeah.
And bring it back home because there's not much room left in the cabin.
Water bathing outside here at the cabin.
Yeah, with stream water and a big 55-gallon drum.
Yeah, 3 hours over the campfire.
Yeah,
but
no.
But thing is, water bathing
better have a tripod.
Yes.
Water bathing, you don't have to stand there and watch it.
Well, you kind of do, because you got to make sure it stays at a boil, and you got to make sure your water level doesn't drop below the tops of the lids. Yeah, well,
you have the water level up a little bit, and you're doing it. All you need to do is walk by. Okay, it's good.
Yeah, pray you don't run out of propane while you're walked away cutting firewood.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why when you go up there, you always take 2 tanks full. If you had a partial,
full out there plus a partial.
The partial is what you use the tree on to have the light, the propane lantern on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, it's just this, gravy is such an American. Our gravy is not the gravy they serve over in Europe, in England.
Well, if you go to Italy, you get gravy. It's sauce. It's marinara. It's meat sauce.
Yeah.
Like a good grandma's Italian gravy over your pasta or whatever is tomato sauce in a pot, or tomatoes, and then 2 pork chops that were browned, and meatballs and beef bones and beef, and it's they call that red gravy. It's got all the stuff in there. When you make your pasta, it's like, oh, I get the pork chop. Oh, I get the steak or whatever's in there. Yeah. And I want the meatballs, and I want the chicken breast, and that doesn't matter. They just throw it all in there.
Yeah. There are a couple channels. One one does English kids, prep school kids and stuff, high schoolers. And they I guess they do tours over here in the U.S.
Oh yeah, first time English people eating American burgers or American fast food, or I've seen a lot of those.
Brisket or whatever. It was so funny when they did the sausage and biscuits. Oh, they're looking at it like, what is this? And they're all like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And the one guy took a bite and he goes,
oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm. And he was like, what is this? This is ambrosia. And he started another one.
What were we going to say, Tammy?
The 2 English guys that have come over here, they just spent time in Michigan, and now one of them is in Alabama, Arkansas. I think he was at the Hot Springs, so Arkansas. And they came over to Michigan, and they got real biscuits and gravy. Real biscuits and gravy. And they were like dipping their biscuit in the gravy, and we're like, no, that's so wrong. Yeah, they had no clue what they how to
cut your biscuit in half, lay it out there, and dump your stuff all over it.
Yeah.
The first time someone wanted to get in Texas barbecue, the owner of the restaurant saw them get the knives out. He goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. He walks up and he took the forks and knives off the table. He goes, this is the way you do it. He picked up a piece and he goes, that's the way you eat it. You do not cut it off the bone. So one of the guys did, he went to pull out and the whole thing just peeled off the bone. He's like, there's a big old piece of meat hanging out of his mouth. He's like, oh, it's falling apart in my hands.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Now eat with your hands. That's what God gave you.
Yeah. And, and there's another one thing from Ireland, and they have some come over, or those on vacation come over and they do several things, and watching them first time seeing, they look at the white gravy and they're like, ew. And one lady went like this. She went,
huh.
Then she got the knife and they started cutting and started shoveling it in.
Yeah, that is the real comfort food. Like, that is like, and we love it for dinner. Like, biscuits and gravy for dinner is a big thing. And we've seen it on my channel. We make it. Becca does her biscuits in the cast iron frying pan with drowning in butter when you bake them, and they are so fabulous. And my friend Linda here just made cat head biscuits, and they were to die for. And
there is a History Channel that was talking about the German female prisoners of war that were brought over here down south, and first time they were served biscuits and gravy there, they thought they were being punished for something until they and none of them they were refusing to eat it, and the guards said, it's good. Oh, you're going to poison us. Finally, one of them was so hungry they ate it, and they just started, and she started eating it. You gonna eat yours? No, she took a plate from someone else and started eating it. Then they started eating it, and they thought they'd gone to heaven because it was they'd never tasted anything like that. Of course, most of them grew up after World War I in Germany, where they were short on stuff anyway. So this was rich food to them. It's like, oh. Well, all right, we have someone came in on someone's on the Facebook side. I can see him number right up here. But yeah. So once you've made a gravy, and Mark can probably address this more, how easy is it to turn it into a powdered, just add water mix? Mark, you still there? Of course, he probably wandered off.
Yeah, sorry. No, I have a headset on. When I put the microphone up, it says mute on, and I pulled it down. It didn't say mute off, so I had to go back up and back down again. Anyway, so even freeze drying, when I do like stir fry sauce and it's thick with the corn, I don't use cornstarch. I'll use either arrowroot or clear gel. And I'll put that in there. But after it's freeze dried, I'll put it in the bag. I'll actually sprinkle some more clear gel in there just to make sure. And it kind of worked because I had it at the cabin once. I rehydrated it and it was still kind of thick. But freeze drying gravy, I never went down that road. Although I have freeze dried casseroles, which I don't remember if I had. Actually, I think I did have flour in there, and that works. So you can freeze dry it. It's just a fat content thing. I did just recently up my game and buy a nitrogen bottle, so my fat content can technically go up because I can flush the bags out with nitrogen before I throw an O2 absorber in there, and to get whatever O2 is left, because a little bit of oxygen with fat, that's what makes it go rancid.
Yeah,
and because there's no water in it. But
can you freeze dry gravy with the? I mean, we use the pan drippings, which is pure oil and grease from sausage.
I think about it. I'm like, I've made like beef stews, even when I make like my chili and that, there's fat in there, and it's thick from the tomatoes and the beans. I did make a chicken cordon bleu casserole, and I swear I put flour in there. I had to because it had to thicken up. But because then I added cheese and it melted in, and even that worked. But yeah, I think you can. I have to. Now I'll have to do a multifaceted test. I'm gonna
Yeah.
freeze dry a whole bunch of things and can a whole bunch of things and pull them all out at the same time. All right, what works, what doesn't work,
Yeah.
and
I,
see
I
that.
was thinking if you did freeze dry it and make into little pouches like like this, like all these things we get, we store these in the freezer so they last longer because
Right.
we don't use them that often. So
Right.
if you
What's
freeze
the
dry,
ingredients and what does it say in there? It must say modified food starch or something.
yeah,
Sodium
modified
guaionorate and all
food
kinds of.
starch, palm
Milk solids.
oil, corn syrup, solids, wheat flour, buttermilk,
there's flour in there.
salt, sodium caseinate,
Sure.
a milk in parentheses, enzyme modified cream, sugar, black pepper, mono and diglycerides. You get all the soy oil, soy this, soy that, caramel color.
Well, if there's fat in there, yeah, exactly. Now you know why she makes her own.
Yeah, I know. The only quote oil in here is palm oil. Yeah,
it's still oil.
Yeah.
So, but I just with the fact they put in a whole wheat flour or some kind of whole grain flour in there, that's freeze dried. It's not it might be dehydrated, but if it is dehydrated, it's dehydrated at a high temperature and packaged in like an almost zero humidity environment. That's why there's an expiration date on it of like 2 years.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a shot. But possibly I could freeze dry gravy. Now I gotta try it. So looks like Richard and I are going to be busy one weekend here at the house when it's pouring rain at the cabin. It's like, screw it, let's go back home and can something.
Yeah. And so Kaylin's asking, could it be dehydrated for short term?
No, not really, because dehydrating is just blowing air across it with some heat. You might make some kind of a, I don't know, gravy leather, like fruit leather, but it would be sticky and gummy. I don't think dehydrating gravy, not an option.
Yeah.
You'd be better off to make the powdered mix like I do.
Yeah.
And then just add water when you're ready to use it. Because my powdered mix is basically beef bouillon powder, milk powder, and spices. I mean,
no thickener?
A little cornstarch.
Okay, so when you put the boiling water in there, add it to hot water, it'll thicken. But cornstarch, it just doesn't hold long term.
Yeah.
You thicken it. If you pour cornstarch in something to thicken it, like a gravy you made at Thanksgiving, and you leave it on the stove to simmer for more than about 15, 20 minutes, it breaks back down again and goes back to liquid.
I mean, you can substitute arrowroot powder. I've done that before for the cornstarch.
Yeah.
It's whatever you have on hand. Measure with your heart.
Yes. Okay.
So I don't know about. I'll have to try freeze drying gravy. Just regular standard affair. Roux, which is flour butter cooked a little bit. There's different forms of roux, in terms of how long you cook it for. But and then just broth, beef broth. I'll thicken it up and see what works and see what doesn't work, and that'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be a big pot of possibly semi-wasted beef broth. I'll just pick up a can of beef base. I'll just use better bouillon or something, so I'm not wasting my good bone broth.
Was your powdered mix a short or?
No, it's long. There's an au jus gravy and there's a country style gravy.
I see the canning ham broth.
They might be scheduled out. They might not. They're done. May not be released yet.
All right, let me hit the main page, so I can look at videos, and let's see what we got going on there.
Now that I'm thinking about it, they may be scheduled out because I didn't want to put them all back to back together. I didn't.
Okay. So
Myra.
the au jus gravy mix was 13 days ago.
Yeah.
So boom. So that's this one here. Is the au jus gravy mix here.
Yeah, there's one up there, and they both have the red
Kind of here's a country style gravy mix is 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So this is go to the Rebel Canners, click on videos, and just scroll down a little bit, and there they are.
Look for the red bowls.
Yeah. So
yeah, I need to do some. I have to do some nails. I had to pay for Canva.
Yeah.
I got a new employee at the farm. I had to pay for, so I let Canva lapse for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So yeah.
You want to show a picture of my new employee? He came with room and board, and he gets a little stipend, and he's in charge of fertilizer and lawn maintenance at the farm.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I did not get it here.
Again?
Well, I'll post it to my community tab. Everybody watch. There's a picture of my new employee coming up soon.
Yeah. All right. My
internet is so bad here. I tried to send it to Gil before the live, but
he'll probably get both of them here shortly because it was probably taking forever to load.
We're off.
Yeah.
I'll put it to my community tab as soon as we're done.
Yeah.
He's a handsome fellow.
It'll show up 30 seconds after I hit the in stream button.
Yeah. Like, oh, you bunny.
My son is a little jealous because he doesn't get paid to work at the farm. This guy gets,
Yeah.
Free food.
Yeah. Free food.
Tell your son to go eat. Tell your son to go eat the grass out front. He can eat too.
There you go.
Do you have it in like a cage or something or a fence area?
He's in a cage right now till he calms down. He was found running loose, and someone picked him up, and nobody claimed him, and so they were looking for a home for him. And I'm like, well, I can provide him with a heated enclosure and a little heated house and three meals a day.
Domesticated bunny, or is it just a wild rabbit?
No, it's a domesticated.
A white fat boy.
One that wandered off.
I do not do white bunnies. Have you not seen Monty Python? I will not do white bunnies with red eyes. So he is the opposite of a white bunny with red eyes.
He's a brown bunny with brown eyes.
He's a black bunny with black eyes.
Ooh, black bunny. Ooh, sounds like the name of a heavy metal group. Black Bunny.
Yeah. Sawyer's trying to come up with a name for him. So he's just been, brought home tonight. He's settling in. So I sent Gil a picture. We weren't going to get any animals till after we went hiking, but the price was right, and he will provide all the fertilizer my farm needs this summer. So,
hey, Myra, thank you. Y'all missed her. I said hi to everybody as I come in.
No, I was just looking to see. Wait a minute. If I go, I'm trying to find the right spot here that I can. Yeah, come on, go back a half a second. Come on.
What, do you listen to your own stream?
No. Dang it. It's so quick. There we go. There it is. Mighty Python and the Holy Grail and the Killer White Rabbit.
Yeah.
Ah!
And the really good thing that ties it all to this stream is if I get tired of this bunny or he turns out like one of Monty Python's, he can be turned into gravy.
Yeah.
There you go. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, top them with sausage gravy. Get a little more fat in there.
Bacon. But no,
bunny with sausage with bacon gravy.
He's not for eating. He is just for producing garden fertilizer. I'm not planning on getting any more.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Had quite a few at one time.
That's assuming the fox or the raccoon or something else a hawk doesn't get it.
He's staying here at my friend's. He's under her carport tonight. And then I am building him a bobcat proof hutch. So I have the metal cages because I had rabbits before, but I don't have like a real good hutch. I just had some tin cut. He's going to have a tin roof, tin sides. He's going to be, quite
Which is
the funny condo.
welded together at a 1/4-inch steel with a big old deadbolt on it to keep everything out.
No.
Except for the
No, it
raccoons.
needs
We're
a
smart.
little
We know
fun
how to open
stuff.
locks.
But nothing will be able to get underneath him, and nothing will be able to get him on the back or the two sides. So
We're trying to find the right one here. Hang on. Okay. This is the first time I've seen these, and they can clip on to chain link or anything else, or regular cages, and you run your hot wire around it.
Oh, gotcha.
Ooh, my garden, that's perfect. My garden is chain link. So that would be a very nice
You can
addition.
clip it onto the smaller stock fences, the chain link fences. Yeah, and
obviously
you get 50 pieces.
Yeah. Actually, are they metal? They look metal.
They're metal except for the tip is
the insulator.
Is the insulator.
Plastic.
Oh,
yeah.
I got an insulator this week. You guys would appreciate this because I did not know what this was when I got it. It was given to me, and I'm like, what is this thing? Watch this. Now, this is an insulator.
It's a glass one. There you go.
Yep.
Do you know what this one is for?
Probably off a railroad pole.
Nope. It's the guy for the guy cable going up to the top of the power poles.
Yes, for telegraph poles.
Yeah. Well, still use it. They still use them on regular, just like that, on regular power poles.
Yeah, but these were originally for telegraphs.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's cool.
And it weighs like 20 pounds.
Yeah, they started using those after the Carrington effect, the Carrington event.
Yeah.
So after that, they started using those to insulate stuff.
Yes. So that is pretty cool. I like that, and I'm probably going to put that in my garden too. So it
also insulates against lightning strikes too. So it's not grounding it to the ground, direct cable, because it's insulated there. So it helps, isolate the top of the telephone, telegraph, power poles, whatever, keep it insulated.
Yeah.
Of course, most of the ones I see are about like this big.
Yeah, this one's huge. That's why it came up that it's called a Johnny Ball insulator, and I'm told it was for telegraphs. Somebody gave me a bunch of bricks, and this was laying in the brick pile, and I'm like, can I have that glass thing? And then I went and looked it up, and lo and behold, it was worth more than the pile of bricks I took home.
How's the car doing after toting the bricks around?
I only took a short thing of them. I got to go back for 2 more loads. But I took the glass insulator with the first load. Mama's not a dummy.
Kaylin said to name him Darth Vader.
Dark Vader. Yeah.
Darth Vader.
I will give your name suggestion to Sawyer and see if he will. That would be cool because that'd go along with the Star Wars theme. So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Dark helmet.
Dark Vader.
Helmet.
What's the other one? Dark helmet.
Yeah, I said that.
But
wait, oh shit.
Yeah.
He's been running free for a little while, so he's not the most friendly fella yet. So he's got to learn that I am the bringer of treats and pellets and fresh weeds.
Yeah. For those of you that are Mel Brooks fans, Spaceballs 2 is coming out this year.
Ah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that and forgot it.
Yeah. The search for Spaceballs 2, the search for more money. They decided not to use that title. Spaceballs 2, something else. Yeah.
And the guy that passed away that played the puppy or something, his son is gonna play him in the new one.
Oh, John Candy.
Okay.
John Candy played Barf.
Yeah, so I think so there's something special about that character that's coming up too.
I think my battery's going dead on my headset because I didn't move it and I started talking and I'm not seeing my little dot move.
I can see you talking now.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't charged it in a while. It's probably down to like 2%.
Yeah. Oh, difference between brown gravies and white gravies. White gravies have milk in it, then, right?
White gravy is a strictly milk product. Brown gravy is
All beef
beef
or meat.
beef or pork product, because either
Yeah.
one of those look brown.
Yeah.
Red gravy is supposed to be a ham product.
Yeah, unless you're Italian.
And then chicken gravy is, of course, yellow. It's chicken gravy.
So chicken and turkey is yellow.
So here's an inside tip from somebody who had to do it all the time. When you're making pork roast for 100 people and you don't have enough drippings in a pan to make that much gravy, mix beef base and chicken base together. You'll never know the difference. And it doesn't taste like pork, but it doesn't taste like beef, and it doesn't taste like chicken. So it must be meat gravy.
Yeah. Oh.
But so milk gravy, if you really want to be technical, is a bechamel sauce. It's milk thickened with a roux, and then you add your flavors to it.
Yeah.
Because so the difference between a milk gravy and Alfredo sauce.
Cheese.
So Alfredo
cheese.
Well,
Alfredo's white cheese.
It all depends on how you really make Alfredo sauce. My Alfredo sauce is garlic and a little bit of olive oil. You saute the garlic. Don't want to brown it because it gets bitter. And then when that gets hot, you pour in your heavy cream directly into the pan. You get it to bubble. Once it starts to boil and bubble, you throw your Parmesan cheese in there, and it thickens up.
Oh,
Done.
not just Parmesan. Asiago.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, sure, whatever. Romano, Asiago. Hey, it's all cheese to me. So, but that's a true Alfredo. If you want to make mock Alfredo, you make a bechamel sauce, make it a little thin because you're going to toss a bunch of Parmesan or Romano or Asiago cheese into there to give it the flavor. It does have a distinctly different flavor to it. And I mean, I've had sauces at restaurants and I'm like, this is not Alfredo sauce. And of course the waitstaff doesn't know. They're like, yeah, it is. It's authentic. I'm like, yeah, authentic from a French kitchen. Maybe if you use a roux and milk, and that's all it is because they can't make it that way. It's way too expensive unless you go to a good restaurant. Then it's heavy cream, and there's only 4 ingredients to it, maybe some pepper. That's it.
And that you just freeze. Leftover of that you'd freeze.
No, it breaks.
Can it?
Well, real Alfredo with heavy cream in it, no, you eat it. You can put some in the fridge for a day or two, but when you heat it, it's gonna break. I mean, the fat will separate from the cheese, period. It's just how that sauce is not designed.
So in other words, it's like it's college leftover. You take the leftover out of the fridge, mix up some pasta, and dump the cold sauce on it, and just sit there in front of the TV studying your books or whatever.
Whatever you want.
No, I did do a video recently on canning it, and I absolutely love it, and we have been using it a lot, and I'm going to have to can some.
Oh, the Alfredo sauce?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you thicken it with? Did you thicken it with clear gel?
No. No.
How'd you thicken it?
I didn't. The cream thickens itself when you can it.
Oh, you said you used milk.
Yeah, to thin it, because you have to thin it. You don't thicken it.
Oh, so okay. So you used heavy cream.
I used heavy cream.
Oh, okay.
And then I canned it, and then when I open it, I put a little milk in it to thin it because it is like you could cut it with a knife.
Yeah.
Like my sister's gravy. Oh, she's not listening. I can say that.
Now you take that and you can put it on a biscuit. Alfredo biscuits, like cold sandwiches.
Case, you grind some sausage and toss in there with it, put it on a biscuit.
Yeah, there you go. Alfredo gravy on a biscuit.
We do that for breakfast pizza.
Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking about pizza, last week I cooked up some pizza. Had several slices left over, so I did the normal: put it in a Ziploc gallon bag, put it in the fridge. early the next Oliver was the only one that spent the night. He got up early. He was up until 10 o'clock, and he was back up at 6. You know, dude. Anyways, he was up, and I go, what do you want for breakfast? He wanted something else. And then he went home. As soon as he went home, Danny came running over, and he goes, "Hi, Grandpa." I go, "What do you want for breakfast?" "Oh, what do you got?" "I got pizza." "Yeah, I'll take cold pizza." First time any of the grandkids ate cold pizza at my house.
It's good.
And so he took 2 pieces, went and sat in front of the TV and watched TV until he ate it, and then played with Legos.
Of course.
All right, coming up here tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping, it is hydration, electrolyte water, and I got some things we're going to talk about with it. Thursday night's the Midnight Ride. Friday back here is what amendments are you adding to your garden? I know what amendments she's adding to her garden now that she has a helper.
I'm adding my mulch, my 55-gallon drum of, every now and then I spin it, mulch from everything from the last 2 years that's been going in there. It's nice and black and gooey dirt. Yeah.
Okay, got a question here on this, Tammy.
How on the water bath pint squirts of heavy cream?
Follow my Alfredo recipe. I can't remember how long it was off the top of my head. We pressure canned it. So it was a 10-minute pressure can. I have never water bathed. I don't water bath milk or cream. I pressure can my milk and my cream. So
didn't you do the basically bring it up to, you vent it 10 minutes, bring it up to pressure, shut the heat off?
For the Alfredo sauce, it was I believe it was a 10-minute pressure can. I won't tell you something that I haven't done. So if you want to know, go into Rebel Canners and ask. There's lots of people that have done it, and they will tell you what they've done. I just haven't done it yet, so I can't give you any recommendations till I do it for my own family, and then I can.
In Rebel Canner's Facebook page, if you ask a question, I guarantee you, within 15 minutes, you'll have 5 answers.
15 minutes? You have people that live on that page.
That's what I said. In 15 minutes, you'll have 5 answers, and then it'll sit there for a couple minutes, and all of a sudden, you're up to 30 answers.
Yeah, and then they start arguing amongst themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've all done our own thing and tested tested it in our own kitchen. So,
all right, Saturday back on Gray Man Prepping is after an all Europe war starts. What is your plan? Next Monday here.
Did that happen today? I'm asking because the gas went up from $3.99 to $4.29 in about 3 hours today.
It keeps going back and forth because every time somebody says, "Hey, we're opening the straits," boom, the prices go down. "Hey, sorry, we're closing the straits," boom, the prices go right back up. There is no rhyme or reason to it anymore.
It's never been this high in Michigan.
It's corporations jamming us up for more profit money.
And I'm really angry.
We don't get our oil from over there.
Yeah.
What we don't get from over there? Our ethanol. Our ethanol is made 10 miles down the road over here in this state. It's made 10 miles away from my home, and they raised that price too. That has nothing to do with closing the strait. They didn't.
Here's the other thing. Even if we were getting the oil from there, for that oil to affect the price of gas actually is several months for it to be shipped over, go through this process, and by the time it comes out of the refinery, it's been 3 or 4 months. Yeah. So it shouldn't be going up for 3 or 4 months. But
the old days of gas prices slowly going up or going up overnight and not going down quick. My dad had a gas station. Here's the reason for that. Think of it this way. You just open a gas station. Your very first load of fuel costs you $1,000. So you have to price your gas accordingly to make a little bit of a profit, not much because you don't make much money off the gas. But then halfway through that tank load in your ground, your next price is going to be $1,500 for the same amount of fuel.
So now you have to raise your prices early because you don't have any capital standing to buy the next load of gas. That happened to my parents a lot.
Yeah.
And
I can
but then
understand
the
that
problem is
on
when
the-
the price goes, yeah, this is for only a standalone station, but when the price goes back down, now they're just trying to recoup their losses until, okay, we're back to normal, we can lower our prices down. But when
Yeah.
it comes to the corporations doing it, there's no reason for it because we don't get our stuff from over there. We do it all here, and they just use them as a reason for, oh, price again. Nobody can get fuel over there. We have to raise our prices. No, you don't, because we have our own fuel over here. Knock it off.
Mark.
My turn. The only two stations who did not raise their prices were the two standalone stations. It's the big corporate stations that are nationwide that are doing this. And our governor, yes, Gretchen Whitlas, needs to do something about the price gouging.
Yeah.
Nah, she won't. She's making a handy profit off of it. But anyway.
All right. Next Monday here. Your favorite thing to can. And so everybody decide chat. Everybody decide chat. This is for you. You need to tell us what your favorite thing to can is. Water bath and or pressure canning. And if you happen to have it, steam canning. So that's what's coming up here. So, all right, folks, we're going to go ahead and get done here. And I get back to cleaning the house because the wife said she was thinking about possibly coming out in the next couple weeks. So I got to clean up after all the grandkids.
Nice. Whoops.
In other words, I got to find all the Lego pieces they've been walking around with the stuff they're playing with, and they crash it, and they pick up only about 3/4 of them. There's a bunch of more Legos scattered around, and the quickest way for me to find it is to walk around barefoot.
Yeah,
your
at night in the dark.
system needs picked up.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Take care.
Have a good night.